God-given land of ours, Australia, this proud possession, our own piece of earth, that was built by our fathers who pioneered our heritage. Here in Australia, the land of our birth.
Who's that? So Martin and Ryan from Head to Head, Pinball Podcast, and we are going to be doing, well, I say we, but really I mean Ryan, is going to be doing an install video of the monkey mod for Wizard of Oz, which you can find on Pinside. Our good friend Steve Gouveia has made this after he did the Red Smoke Witch mod. Is that right, Ryan?
That's right. Let's get to it.
So you've installed this before?
Yeah.
What comes in the box?
All right. So we're going to show you here. We got the actual monkey. Okay. We have a little, I'm going to call it a door jamb, just to make the door fit the monkey, and some screws.
Sure.
The last bit was, the second last bit is this little door piece here, and that just stops the monkey from hitting the door. It's a little curved thing and getting stuck. And the last two bits, basically a UV light that you're going to install like this, just to make the monkey shine.
And how easy or difficult would you find this installation?
We're about to show you, so you can make up your own mind in 5 minutes. Cool. So the first thing you want to do is open your WAS, turn it on, lift up the play field. Hopefully you know how to do that, otherwise you're going to struggle. Go into the menu, go to tests, device test, last one, winged monkey, okay, go into it, and you want to get your guy there in the middle, okay, get him in the middle, and then you can turn your machine off. Next thing you want to do is remove these two screws that hold this monkey bracket together. And set them aside. And that just pops off. See?
That's it.
That's it, done, installation done. So the next step is removing this screw here. So you want to hold this while you're doing it so it doesn't drop. But just one thing that you need to do is move this wire thing just underneath here, because it fits now with that normal monkey, but when you put your real monkey on there, the one that you just bought, it won't fit. So you want to move that out of the way and then remove this screw. Let's do it this way. Now this screw is going to be replaced. Okay, well, it's staying in there. So you've got two washers and a screw, so you're removing them. So this is what you've just removed. You're going to get rid of this screw. This screw is not good for the monkey. Okay, so inside this little goodie bag, you have what Steve refers to as a single slotted screw. So that is this one right here. Now to make the monkey fit, Steve wants you to put this underneath this plate here. So you want to put it underneath there like this. Okay, then put it back up. This is pretty hard with two hands. But we then want to just hand tighten this here so the magnet doesn't fall off. Now using a flathead screwdriver, we can tighten it up, making sure that it's right in the middle. And there we go. That's that step done. Alright, for the next bit you need the actual monkey and the two black screws that you removed for your plastic monkey. Now, when you install this you might think, oh my gosh, I've got a dud, this doesn't fit, but it does. You see a little circular shape there, that's what's covering the magnet. So the best way to do it is to kind of put it on straight like that, and as I said, you do need these completely removed out of the way, otherwise it's not going to slide in. So you want to kind of jam it in and then shove it a bit to the left, and if you get a bird's eye view here, Marty, you'll see you got the two screws there available. So you get those black screws that you took out. So you think that might be it, but the next part is all about clearance, because basically this monkey sticks out too far and won't fit underneath the door. So we need to push this door forward. Okay, so in your goodie bag you have a little plate here to extend the door out a little bit. But the first step is to remove this spring that brings the door back. So just do that, and the spring just goes out. You can just leave it here. The next step is to unscrew these two screws here. Oh, they're on pretty tight. Obviously be careful with your screwdriver that you don't slip and mark your playfield. Last one. There you go, the door is off. So if you've left your spring on here instead of on the post over here, that's fine. So you want to get out the door thingy, and unfortunately the screws that we use to screw them in there aren't long enough because you've got this extender. So that's why you have two beautiful new screws in here. So what you're doing is you're putting it back on, so you can thread it in like that, just so it kind of stays in there. And you're attaching it back on. There we go. Okay, so now the door is a bit further out, so the monkey will fit better. But because of that, the hinge of the door, I guess, will now hit up against this rail, this ball guide, if you can see.
Hey, sorry to interrupt Ryan, but it's Steve here. When Ryan does this adjustment, Ryan is a very strong individual and he uses a screwdriver. He didn't have any tools because he was over at Martin's house. If your door is getting stuck on the ball guide, right over here, these are my wife's Trisha's hands, by the way. Just use a rag and some pliers. It's so much easier and it's not going to cause an issue because you truly have to move it like a fraction of an inch. Take it, hold it, and just pull it out until the door gets by. It's really easy. Don't get carried away. Just go ever so slightly till the door moves. And that's, thank you, Vanna. That's how you fix the problem. All right, back to Australia.
Done. See that? No resistance now, so when it goes to open, it'll open. We're almost finished. Because these wings are on springs, sometimes they'll flap a little bit, sometimes they'll flap a lot, depending on how quick your motor's moving. If they're flapping a lot, what was happening is that the edge of this wing would just get caught, sometimes when it's flapping too much, just on the edge of the door here, and it will still go through. It just gives this weird kind of clunk. So Steve has put this as an addition, and the wing will glide along here and make sure it's out of the way by the time it gets to the door. So there isn't an exact position to put this, but you want to make sure that it is not behind, like over here. If you put it here, it's doing nothing. You want to put it just enough that it's hitting, the edge of it is right, like a couple of millimeters behind this door. So maybe over here. And it's colored the same as the door, so it blends in really well. So you just remove this tape over here like this. And I did put it on mine wrong the first time, so you can readjust it. So I'm gonna put mine right there, press it in a little bit. No, I put it in the wrong spot. Take it off. So I just put the door back and around there. Don't forget to reattach the door because there's nothing that brings it back except for this spring. Flappy, flappy McGee. So just to check to see which parts you are left to install, you've got the light and you've got the bracket here. The parts that you've taken out is this ugly monkey, the 2 screws with the washers for the door, and this little nut here. So we've got the machine back on, monkey's installed. We go into the winged monkey mechanism test in device tests, and you can just test it going up and down and making sure that it returns. Just do it a couple of times and make sure it doesn't catch on the door, and if it does, you just take this off and readjust it so it doesn't hit the edge of that. Flappy, 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 flappy. And the mounting position is basically, Steve recommends it's right above Capture Dorothy, so it's going to be here. So you have to trace back where that is. You can put your playfield in a little bit more, helps if you don't have these, and then you're going to mount it up here. Okay, so take off the protective lamp. You want to stick it on. Stick it on the wood, and make sure that the cables are going out to the left. Okay, so make sure you then turn your machine off because you're about to disconnect a wire. Now, this one is just kind of out there because we have the pin stadium installed on these ones, but they might be kind of like jammed in here, so you might have to fish it out. So it's the 2 blue wires, and make sure you get a torch just to check that one of them has a little brown stripe on it. You want to disconnect that and basically just piggybacking power. So you're plugging it in there, and then the other side goes in here. So everything is still getting power. This is just hijacking power off that thing there. So to make this nice and clean, you don't want the wire to hang down.
Hi, it's me again. Ryan is about to attach this with tape, but we've discovered that if you run it up through the back box, it's a much better way to keep it up there because you do not want the wires to hit the wings of the monkey. I can't stress that enough because if the springs get bent, then the wings will not work and you will completely screw up the monkey. So, once this is attached to the wooden beam, and it attaches right here above the capture the Dorothy lights or sign. Run this up through a square. There's a square about this big right here. Run it up through here and run it to the other square that's over on this side, and that's where all the cables are running down. Here's a little long. Here we go. Pull it like this. So that's what your light's gonna look like. So when it's attached, the wiring will now go straight up into the game and then come down off the side, and that's when you can connect it there. But you really, really, really have to keep these wires away from the springs. Okay, back to you, Ryan, thanks.
And then you can pass wires through here so it's nice and neat. You can make it part of that ring. That's from this side. I recommend putting all the unused bits back in your coin box just in case you want to flip your monkey at a later date for millions and millions of dollars. That's not going to fit. So that was the Wing Monkey install, Steve Gouveia's Wing Monkey. You can buy it on Pinside, search for the Wing Monkey mod, but by the time you see this video, it's probably already sold out. If you have issues with the wings being too flappy and it getting caught on here, you can very gently bend that piece of plastic forward, or you can just get a piece of paper and shove it just under the bracket, and that just pushes that forward a tiny little bit. You may or may not need to do it. Every Wizard of Oz is slightly different, but just a little tip if your monkey's getting stuck. It's Ryan and Martin from Head to Heads. Enjoy your monkey.